It is one of life's strange paradox. We often know what is good for us, what will bring peace, health, and long-term happiness, yet we do not always follow that path. Why? Part of the answer lies in our biology. Our brains are wired for survival, not necessarily fulfillment. They seek comfort, instant gratification, and familiar routines, even when those routines hurt us in the long run. Habits like procrastination, unhealthy eating, or toxic relationships often offer short-term ease or emotional relief, masking deeper wounds or fears. Then there is the emotional layer. Sometimes we don't follow the right path because we don't feel worthy of happiness or health. Past traumas, self-doubt, or fear of failure whisper that change is impossible, or worse, that we do not deserve it. The right path often requires discomfort, sacrifice, and confronting difficult truths. Social and cultural pressures also play a role. We are bombarded with messages about success, beauty, and happiness that often contradict what's truly healthy or meaningful. The world sells us escape. Discipline and self-connection do not sell as easily. But perhaps the greatest obstacle is the illusion of time. We believe we will start tomorrow. We delay healing, discipline, and self-love because we assume life will wait for us. But you know what? It won't. Choosing the right path isn't about perfection. It's about small, courageous steps. It's about forgiving ourselves when we stumble and trying again. Deep down, we all have the wisdom to know what is right. The real challenge is building the strength to honor that wisdom every single day. Not doing what we should is one of the most confusing and frustrating patterns we face as human beings. We know deeply what is good for us. We know that a balanced diet, regular exercise, meaningful relationships, rest, boundaries, and self-respect will lead us to a better life. We have read the books, heard the advice, even experienced the benefit before. And yet, we do not follow that path. We choose junk food when we are stressed. We skip the workout even though we know it will make us feel better. We stay in a toxic environment. We procrastinate on our passions. We say yes when we need to say no. Why? What is stopping us? That's the question I want to reflect on today. Not with judgment, but with compassion and curiosity. Because this inner contradiction is not a failure. It is part of being human, and understanding it may be the first step to heal it. Let's begin with the body, the biology behind our behavior. Our brains are still wired for survival, not fulfillment. Thousands of years ago, making quick decisions to avoid discomfort or danger was essential to stay alive. Today, that wiring hasn't changed much. Comfort equals safety, and discomfort equals threat, even if your discomfort is just a morning run or a difficult conversation. So when we're faced with a choice between what is healthy and what is easy, the brain often pushes towards the short-term reward. A dopamine hit from scrolling, sugar, or validation feels better now than the long-term reward of growth, health, or discipline. But survival mode has no room for flourishing. It just wants to avoid perceived pain. This is then not laziness, this is ancient wiring, and part of maturity is learning to override it, not forcefully, but gently, through awareness. Beyond biology, there is the emotional landscape, the soft, messy, deeply human part of us. Sometimes we don't follow the right path because we carry wounds. We may know what is good, but we don't feel worthy of it. Somewhere deep inside, a voice says, "You do not deserve peace. You will just fail away. Why bother?" But I want you to know that that voice is usually not our own. It is being inherited through childhood, relationships, culture, or trauma. And when that voice becomes a belief, it drives our actions. It is called self-sabotage. It's often just a defense mechanism, an unconscious way to avoid the pain of disappointment or rejection. Because if we never try, we will never really fail. But that imaginary protection ends up caging us in it. The path to healing lies in gently challenging that inner voice, learning to see ourselves not as broken, but as evolving. And then, of course, there is the world around us. Modern culture is built on overstimulation. We are sold a version of happiness that is instant, polished, and external. Fast results, no efforts, always on. So when reality changes and asks us for patience, discipline, or silence, it feels boring, hard, and lonely. We have been trained to seek comfort as a reward, no efforts. Advertisements promise happiness in the form of consumption. Social media distorts reality. We're told to hustle but not how to rest, to look good but not how to feel safe within us. In this environment, choosing what is truly healthy mentally, emotionally, spiritually can feel like swimming against the current. And yet, that resistance may be the very proof that you're growing. One of the most subtle obstacles to change is the belief that we have time. We say, tomorrow I'll start, next week I will rest, next year I will heal. But tomorrow is never guaranteed, and the longer we postpone change, the more familiar dysfunction becomes. We romanticize the future, imagining a version of ourselves who will have all the discipline, all the peace, all the clarity, all the time of the world, but that version is only born through what we do now. Postponement is often fear in disguise, but life doesn't wait, our bodies doesn't wait, our dreams quickly fade when we keep them for later. The path is now, not perfectly, but honestly, presently. So if we know what's good, but still struggle to follow it, what's the way forward? It starts with awareness, not shame. Recognize your patterns without judging them. Ask, what pain are they protecting you from? Then choose one small action, not everything at once. A glass of water instead of coffee, a walk instead of scrolling, a 5 minutes pause to breathe before reacting. Build trust within yourself in tiny, consistent way. That's how you rewire your brain. That's how you rebuild self-worth. That's how change becomes real. Yes, we will fail, we will forget, but every time we remember, we begin again and stronger, gentler, and more aware of it. You do know what is good for you, you always have. The question now is, can you love yourself enough to walk that path, one imperfect, brave step at a time? I hope this reflection brought something meaningful to you. If it did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for joining me. See you soon.